good, all good, all good, mashallah. Today we will run through um today we will run through my streaming setup, advices for getting started on streaming, understanding the ecosystem in a very short manner. We're going to do a long just video, not a stream about it soon, but also, we created some links which I'm going to pop up here in a moment, for beginner, intermediate, professional streaming setup for those of you who are interested in getting into streaming and want to know how that whole process works. We will get that going for you guys, inshallah ta'ala, and explain the process today. Today, we will explain that. Inshallah, inshallah. We're a little bit too zoomed in here. Wrong way. Zoom it out just a bit. And there we go. That's good. That's good. Tiny bit more. There we go. Okay. Allahumma barak. Yes, mashallah. We tried to do, because if you're going to enter into the streaming world like the way we're trying to do, in a professional way, to give the da'wah the platform that it deserves, you need to do it right. And if you're going to do it on Twitch and in the gaming streaming world, you need to fit the bill. People come to your stream, it needs to fit the bill. I can't, I have my bookshelf set up. For those of you who have followed us on YouTube on Path to Peace, you see that live stream has that academic talk look. But if you're doing that on Twitch, you're trying to enter into the gaming platform in a serious manner, it just doesn't catch the same attention to do it right, as it does if you have a gaming setup. Umair Abdullah, Assalamu alaikum. I got an Astro A40 TR. Yes, Astro does make good stuff. I wish Astro would make more of their HDMI to optical output for the PS5. They made them and they sold out so fast, and they have not relaunched them yet. It's problematic. I need that HDMI to optical output so that I can hook the audio of the PS5 into my Go XLR, which is covered in dust right now. We got to do a dust check later on today. So, but yeah, it's a good setup. Astro makes good products. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. I really enjoyed your Spotify lectures on Spotify. They're really good, Jim. Alhamdulillah. I just got my PS5. Ahmed, mashallah. I want a gaming PC, but price is an issue for me. Yes. Again, we're going to go through all the basics of how you can do this on the smallest budget to the highest budget. We'll try to discuss most of that we can today, inshallah ta'ala. Umair Abdullah, welcome. Assalamu alaikum. Lion Bites, assalamu alaikum. Welcome. We're going to get rolling here in just a moment. The bot is really slow on putting that in the room today, so we're just waiting just a few moments. Hope I meet a scalper one day just to tell them I'm PS5 please, because PS5 list because of them. So we're just waiting on it to pop in the room so that our brothers and sisters over in Discord know that we are live. He is slow today. Maybe you can give him a kick, Meadow. Maybe he needs a kick. Dean, mashallah, alhamdulillah, we are all good. All good. We are all good. We're just waiting for a few more people to jump on and waiting on our bot over in Discord to pop pop the live over there. So we're waiting on him. I have never played PUBG on PC. Nope, never played the game whatsoever. Shockwave, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. We're going to get rolling here in just a moment. There might be some gameplay today. Towards the end, we probably will play some Cold War. That's what we usually do on Monday. But so many people have been asking me about PC setups and getting involved in PC gaming and streaming. And since we opened up the content creator platform, which is now available in it's in the social media channel, it's also supposed to go into the main room. There it is. Meadow had to put it itself. That bot constantly. We need to constantly be checking on the bot to make sure he puts it in the main lounge as well. It's always supposed to go to the main lounge as well. Um, so many people have asked me about that, especially with opening content creation and our kind of standards around partnering with content creators. Like we've partnered with Brother Ben Iqra. If you're not following his page, make sure that you do so. Maybe Brother Meadow can pop his Twitch profile in the chat. Make sure you're following our Brother Ben Iqra, who is a yeah, he falls asleep sometimes. I don't know. We need him on. He falls asleep when we need him. But maybe you can pop his Twitch. Our brother Ben Iqra is an official content creator for MGL, and he's doing it with a very bare bones setup. So it is possible to be done. It is possible. You don't need something massively amazing to do a decent stream. Shockwave with the raid with a party of two. May Allah bless you. There is our brother Ben Iqra's Twitch right there. You can jump on him. You can jump on him. The rig specs are right there. All you have to do is type in specs. Here are my parts. I buy them from Micro Center. We have a Micro Center here near my house, so I'm alhamdulillah, I'm able to buy most of my parts there and on Amazon, which we'll be posting those links up soon, insha'Allah ta'ala. Insha'Allah. I'm gonna go through my entire setup today, and kind of how the ecosystem of streaming works and what you need to do to get started, inshallah. But before we do that, and I'm going to ask Brother Meadow if he can pin these messages. These are new commands I added into the bot that you can find out my suggestions for streaming equipment that you would need. This is apart from the PC. The PC is something else we'll talk about today. This is apart from a PC. These are the things that you need to get started. Wa alaikum salam. To get going. Exclamation basic stream. Is it basic streaming or basic stream? Basic streaming. I think it's basic streaming. It might be wrong. I'll fix it if not. I might have typed that wrong because I just made that command this morning. There it is right there. This is my basic stream setup. Link to the basic stream setup right here. I don't discuss a halal and haram opinion on games in Discord or on chat. I'm not a halal and haram guy. Link to basic stream setup right there. So hopefully we can maybe, it's basic stream. Okay. So that's the basic stream setup. If you just want bare bones to get you up and running, these are my suggested tools that you will need apart from the PC to get you up and running. Now, if you want to do intermediate, you can type in exclamation intermediate stream. Exclamation intermediate stream. That will give you the mid-range, mid-level streaming setup that you can get you streaming in 1080p if you have the PC that can handle it. We'll talk about that in a moment. And then finally we have exclamation professional stream. This is for those who want to take it seriously and who want to stream in the highest quality and content possible. Highest quality and content possible. If you want to stream without your face, then you don't need any of the stuff with regards to camera and things like that. You can just exit that out. You can exit out camera, exit out lights, all of that. If you don't want to stream your face, you can exit out anything that has to do with video, and only the audio portion will apply to you. Only the audio portion will apply to you. Professional stream. No, that's misspelled. One F, two S's. One F, two S's. There it is. Yep, there is my link on Amazon to professional stream equipment. And again, this is my sincerest opinion when it comes to things that I have tried and used and seen and researched that will help you get set up on a professional, intermediate, or basic level stream if you want to be involved in the streaming industry, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube, and whether you're streaming games or you want to stream just chatting, etc., to make it as professional as possible on the basic level, which is only a few $100s, intermediate level, and professional level. Now, we're going to talk about the ecosystem. Now, if you are like here, we're gamers, Muslim Gamers League, and you're wanting to do a gaming, stream, or you want to do high quality gaming, the first step is the PC. The first step is the PC. If you have no idea how to build a PC, it's not terribly difficult. we actually plan on doing a tutorial. I plan on doing a tutorial on a PC build. How you can bare bones simply build a decent PC. I'm gonna do a video on that, and we will post it somewhere on Discord so that everybody can see it. We'll post it as well on Yusha Evans Media YouTube, so that you guys can have access to that. I wanted to film our last couple of builds, but this one I think we'll just do from scratch, so that we can make it as well as we can, inshallah ta'ala. So if you want to game properly, you need a PC. You need a PC. Now, if you have no idea about building a PC, if you have no idea about building a PC, had SSS subscribe Prime, may Allah bless you, and increase you, and thank you very much. I play all my games when I turn to Allah. Some people argument it's a waste of time. There's so many things that can be a waste of time. We're here giving da'wah on this platform. Non-Muslims are stopping by, seeing the deen. So I do not see this as a waste of time. It depends. Waste of time is a waste of time is, what is the word I'm looking for this morning, is based on your personal situation. If you're sitting around doing nothing, you're wasting time. Wasting time is when something consumes time and keeps you away from other things that could be beneficial. We all waste time at some level. That's just, anybody who says this is haram, waste of time, and say they don't ever waste any of their time, they're lying. Everybody wastes time on something. But we have tried to take this thing that could be wasting time, gaming and streaming, and turn it into a platform where we can commune with brothers and sisters and build a jama'ah, as well as share the da'wah, inshallah ta'ala. It's all subjective. There it is. Subjective. That's what I was looking for. Subjective. Thank you, Stranger08. It's subjective. It's all subjective when it comes to wasting time. Wasting time is very, very subjective. So it all depends on how much of your time is being used on it, if it's taking you away from your other duties, etc., so on and so forth. Okay. We're not going to get distracted by that now. I'll get back to your questions soon. Now Me6 shows up 20 minutes later. He woke up. Because I want to get through this without it becoming too confusing. You have to look at the PC itself. If you do not know how to build a PC, and that task kind of just scares you, and you don't want to be involved in that, then my suggestion to you is get a good pre-built. You're going to spend some more money, but you're going to know the system is built right. Simple as that. You can get a good pre-built, but you're going to know you're going to spend more money because somebody else is charging you to have built it for you. But you will spend more money, and you might not get as much from the money that you can, but you can get a pre-built. And there are decent systems that you can get pre-built. You can go online and actually look up, I think ROG, Republic of Gamers, has a website where they will build you one as well. MashaAllah, TTV S1 MPL donated $1. May Allah bless you. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. You can actually go to Republic of Gamers, and they have a website where they can build you a PC for bare bones minimum or up to $10,000, $15,000 builds. So you can build like that. You can also go to Micro Center if you live here in the States or have a Micro Center anywhere near you, or you can do it online. You can do a PC builder through Micro Center, and you pay them a fee and they build it for you. They'll even do a custom water cooled custom lube. They'll do the whole shebang bang. They'll test it, burn in everything, and then ship it out to you. Or if you live near a Micro Center, you can pick it up. You can also pick up pre-builts by there's another one, I'm trying to think of the name. GameSpec, I believe it is. GameSpec does pre-builds. Dell does pre-builds as well. Dell does Alienware. Alienware is Dell, I believe. Alienware does some decent, I think they're overpriced. I think Alienware is super overpriced. But they do good pre-builds, and you can also choose the things that go in it. You can choose your graphics card. You can choose your processor. I think it has to be Intel based. They don't do AMD, but you can choose those different things on Dell's Alienware site. So you can get custom built PCs like that. HP has Omen. Yes, HP has Omen. My son has an HP Omen. It's a very decent pre-built setup. We've customized it. But Omen is decent. Actually, my laptop that we do for streaming on YouTube is an HP Omen, and it works very well. It has a 2080 Super in it and an Intel i7. So yeah, Alienware is too expensive. Then I would look into like HP Omen or game spec, go into Micro Center and look it up. They have very good pre-builts that are built through Micro Center. So there are a lot of options out there for pre-built. A lot of options where you can get a decent pre-built system. When it comes to a pre-built system and you want to do gaming and streaming, this is what we're talking about today: gaming and streaming. The two things that you want, actually 3 things that you want to look for. 3 things you want to look for. Number 1, processor. What kind of processor do you need? My humblest suggestion, is either an AMD 5, Series 5 or Series 7, a Ryzen 5 or a Ryzen 7, whether that be a 3000 series or the new 5000 series, a Ryzen 5 or 7 series, because then you'll know that you'll have enough cores and enough threads to run all the processes that are necessary to run a game and a stream, or minimum an i5 or an i7, Intel i5, Intel i7, so that you have enough cores and enough threads to do what you need to do. Now, of course, the more you can spend on that, the better you'll be off. If you can get a Ryzen 9, even better. If you can get an Intel i9, even better. So just look at those CPUs and make sure that you pick within your budget a CPU that maxes out, the performance that you can get for the price that you can spend. Number 2 is the GPU. The graphics card is important. Graphics card is not only important for gameplay, but also for encoding the stream, because the best way to encode a stream is through your graphics card. You can do CPU-based streaming, but it's very, very tough on your CPU. And if you don't have a very high-powered CPU, like a Ryzen 9 or an Intel i9, then you're going to run into bottlenecks. You're going to run into overheating. You're going to run into issues. And when it comes to GPU encoding, I personally suggest NVIDIA. NVIDIA's encoding software is very good. AMD can handle it, sure, but NVIDIA has very good encoding software. So, and my suggestion on that, you can get away with a bare bones GPU, like a 10 series NVIDIA. I think Brother Meta was running a 10 series NVIDIA. My suggestion would be a 20 series, at least a 20 series, maybe a 2060 Super bare bones, or 2070 Super. And then you see how that goes: 2080 Super, 2080 Ti. And now, of course, if you can get your hands on a 3070, 3080, or soon there'll be the 3060s, 3060 Super, all of that. The 30 series cards are going to be very good for encoding on almost every level. So that's number 2. Number three is power supply. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough headroom in the power supply to run everything that you're going to need. A 1050 Ti. Yep. At least a 2060. Power supply. What is known as a PSU. Make sure that your power supply gives you enough headroom to do all of the other things that you're going to do plugging into it. Make sure it can support your CPU, your graphics card, etc. There are websites you can go to where you can, put in all the things that you want to put in your PC, and it'll tell you the minimum requirements for the PSU. Always make sure you have some headroom for that. And if you're doing a PC build yourself, get a modular PSU power supply unit so that you can cable manage really easily. Now, an add-on to that, those were my top 3. Add-on to that is motherboards. Motherboards are always going to be kind of like the base of the whole system. So motherboards are extremely important. No, don't pirate Windows. Motherboards are extremely important. And that also depends on, every motherboard is different. If you have an Intel-based CPU, you're going to need the Z4 motherboards. There's different brand motherboards for Intel and AMD-based systems. Like AMD is the B450s, B550s, or the X570 platform, which is the motherboard that I use. I use the MSI Meg Ace motherboard. So the motherboard is quite important. Make sure that it has the support for the RAM that you want to run. Make sure it has enough PCIe slots to put your graphics card, an internal game capture card if you need, etc. So all of those things are important to look at, and we're going to try to put a whole list of those, inshallah ta'ala, so that you can understand. RAM is important as well, getting RAM, but you don't have to go overboard with it. Like me, I have 64 gigabytes of DDR4 3600 Trident Z Neo, so I have more than enough headspace that I don't think I'm gonna run out of RAM anytime soon. We're doing all this right now, and I'm only using 16% of only 16% of RAM. But you can get away with 16 gigabytes to stream and game. 16 is kind of like bottom line. Can you get away with 8? Maybe, but I would suggest 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. And I have mine set to XMP settings so that we're running at 3600 millihertz. How much does all this cost? It depends. We put all the lists there. Maybe during the time Brother Meadow can keep putting those lists in for basic, intermediate, and stream. And on all of that. Mashorty subscribed to tier 1. They subscribed for 2 months on a 2-month streak. Mashorty, may Allah bless you, increase you, keep you, inshallah. I do like RGB. I used to be an avid opponent of RGB, excuse me. Just too much going on. But now that that it's come a long way and you can kind of have it in a very toned down fashion, I'm a fan. There are times where I turn it off where I just want to kind of be dimmed out. But yeah, I do like my RGB. You can get away with 8 gigabytes, but it's very hard. Yes. So that's PC, and we'll do the whole PC building thing at some point. Now, I personally am running a 2 PC setup. That is for the professional streamer. 2 PCs. Why do I run 2 PC setup? I will tell you why. Because we're trying to put things out in the highest quality. We're streaming in 1080p. We're streaming at 6,000 kilobytes per second. We're streaming, high-level games. And we're trying to push all of this out at the same time. Is it possible on one PC? Absolutely. But it is a strain. Brother Meta will tell you the headaches that we've had with one PC streaming at the highest quality that you can possibly put on Twitch has been a headache. And what solved it? As soon as I switched to a 2 PC stream, it became so much easier. Why? Because now my gaming PC, which is here, all it does is have to worry about gaming. That's it. And it's overbuilt for that. We've overbuilt for that. So that's all it's doing is the gaming. And the streaming PC, all it's doing is encoding the stream. That's all it's doing is encoding the stream. And in the gaming PC, we have an AMD Ryzen 9 3950 CPU, MSI Meg Ace motherboard, X570, 64 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 30, a GeoForce RTX 3080, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the streaming PC is an a Ryzen 7 3900 GPU, an MSI Carbon gaming motherboard, and a 2070 Super, a GeoForce RTX 2070 Super. Yes, it did take a toll. It did take a toll on the pocket, and we saved and bought it bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. But we wanted to make this as much quality as we can for you guys, and the goal was hoping that it would be an investment, and we would recoup that with support that we get to the channel. So it's we looked at it as a potential investment because we wanted to make this as clean and as good as we possibly can. And we have had some supporters along the way who are fans of the project and who are silent supporters who have come and helped us out with bits as well. And as we know, the missus also got us the PS5 and stuff like that. So when you're trying to do the right thing, the support will come, inshallah, if you're doing it with sincerity. So now the gaming PC, all it does is encode the stream. That's all it does. And the reason why it's harder to do it on one PC at this high level is if you're doing GPU encoding, the GPU is not only having to play the game, and that usually on some games like Call of Duty Modern Warfare will take anywhere from 80 to 100% of your GPU usage, memory, and RAM. It'll use all of it. And then on top of that, the stream is trying to take from 25 to 30% of the GPU memory to encode the stream. So if you add 80 to 100, a lot of times at 100, and then another 25, 30, you can see you are burning. You have to really overclock your GPU to be able to give it that headspace. Really have to overclock it. MashaAllah, new host, King Kunti, may Allah bless you for the host. So that's why we had some issues, bottlenecks, you drop frames, things get glitched in the encoding, etc. So what happens, glasses, these are from Warby Parker, very cheap, $95 glasses, Warby Parker, alhamdulillah. So now I've taken all of that encoding and transferred it over to the 2070 Super, RTX 2070 Super. It's more than enough. That's overkill just for encoding a stream. So that's all it's having to do. The CPU and the GPU are just worrying about encoding the stream. This CPU and GPU are only worried about the gaming aspect. So it frees those two things up. MGL stands for Muslim Gamers League. I don't know, Timmy Turner. I don't know. I'm not a professional gamer. We're a professional streamer who tries the game to the best that we can. Now, how does this ecosystem work? Let's walk through this so we have time, and stay with us. If you need a pen and paper, write it down. Walk with us. This is my ecosystem. This is for my 2 PC stream setup. And then I'll walk you through kind of the 1 PC and the bare bones. My ecosystem, and that's how you have to look at this streaming environment, as an ecosystem. Because everything is working in harmony together. The gaming, the streaming, the video, and the audio are all part of this ecosystem. Yeah? Okay. Now, this is my gaming PC. What is hooked into this is my monitors, and I have 2 monitors. Oh, I think my headphone battery is about to die. No, it's good so far. I have 2 monitors, and the reason why I have 2 monitors, and I suggest getting 2 monitors if you're going to stream, even if it's a super cheap monitor, just get a super cheap 1080p monitor, 60 hertz refresh rate, doesn't need to be anything silly, but get 2 monitors. There's another monitor right here that you can't see. It's right here next to the camera. The camera is set in between my gaming monitor, and I'm watching Discord, and I'm watching the chat right here on another monitor that's set up portrait style. I've posted that setup on my Twitter and Discord. If you want to see it again, just let me know. I'll post it up again. But the reason why is because if you're gaming full screen, you can't see chat, you can't see the stream, you don't know what's going on. So getting a very cheap monitor will solve that problem. And almost all modern graphics cards have at least 3 outputs for DisplayPort and 1 output port for HDMI. So that you're able to hook up 4 screens if you need to. Yes, anything above 60 hertz monitor for a stream monitor is overkill. It is. You can get whatever monitor you want, but over 60 hertz and it's overkill. This one is 75 hertz, and that's it. It's a Dell monitor that flips. It's got a little stand where it can go into portrait mode, and we have it in portrait. So I have my 2 monitors attached to the gaming PC. This one's 144 2K. That's kind of like the standard in streaming. Standard in gaming. 144 hertz, 2K ROG Strix. That's hooked into the gaming PC. Now, my camera. This is where you're getting all the video. The camera is hooked into the streaming PC via Camlink, and that's in the intermediate and professional setup links. If you want to know those, just type in exclamation and either type in basic, intermediate, or professional stream, and you'll get the whole list of the stuff that I like to use, that I suggest for you. So the cam is hooked into the streaming PC via Camlink, so therefore it's getting the signal to the stream. Now, how do I get my gaming onto the stream via the second PC? That's also extremely simple, and we're going to walk through this in a walkthrough tutorial if there's enough request for it. I have on one of my out ports on my GPU, one of the display outs, I have a HDMI to HDMI, and it's going in to an Elgato 4K capture card, internal capture card through a PCIe slot in the gaming PC. Then all you do is you go into NVIDIA display panel and you clone your gaming monitor, because that will just recognize it as a second monitor. That's all the streaming PC does. It recognizes it as a second monitor. And that's all your gaming PC recognizes as a monitor out. Then you go into NVIDIA display settings and you clone. I'll show you that really quick. Actually, let's pull all this up since we're about to get into all this. Khairan. So you go into, no, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. I'm over here. You go into NVIDIA control panel here. NVIDIA control panel. And let me move that out of the way. Can you guys see that? Is that big enough for you guys to see on stream? Or do I need to maximize that size? Let's just maximize it. Make life easier for everybody. Okay. Then you go over to set up multiple displays. You see here I have, this is my monitor for monitoring the stream. This is just that little monitor. There's a little monitor inside my case that monitors all of my specs going on. Yes, you need a capture card if you're using a Sega PC. So what I've done is this number 2 is my gaming monitor. As you see, it's the Asus XG32V, and I have cloned that with monitor 3, which is the 4K 60 Pro MK2. That is the Elgato internal capture card. So I've just cloned it. That's how you're able to see it on stream, because the streaming PC just picks it up as a monitor. That's it. So we just clone that. Simple as that. You clone that monitor. Now the Streamlabs or OBS will pick up whatever is on your PC, whether that's the game, whether that's this. It just makes life so easy when you do that. You just clone it. And that's all you have to do is click on it and click clone 2 with 3. Simple as that. Simple as that. Now, that's for video. That's for video, getting video, getting your gameplay, all of that over. Getting gameplay, all of that over. And I use the Sony a6400. I believe it is a good, it's not cheap, but it's not super expensive camera that puts out tremendous quality. And it's very easy to work with. Very easy to work with. Now, if you have questions as we're going along and I'm going too fast, let me know. Let me know. Kisha, we'll talk about that later, games and stuff like that. We want to kind of stick to the subject of streaming at the moment. Now, audio. Audio, you could very simply use a USB mic. And I put up one of my recommended USB mics as the Elgato Wave 1, which is cheaper, or the 3. Elgato Wave plugged in through USB. It's very good. It's a very, very good mic. Yes, I will do review setups, and okay, yep, we can do that. If you want me to review your setup, come on Discord, send me your setup, send me your pictures, send me what you got going on. I'll review it for you and give you some advice on how to make it better, or tips, etc. You can send me that. We might do that on stream. We'll do some streams from review setups. So audio, USB mic, that's it. And I'll show you how to do that in OBS soon. But what I use, because that's what this was about, is I use the Shure SM7B. I got this mic for podcasting because it's a super clear condenser mic. It is expensive mic. It's $400, but it makes amazing audio. But it is an XLR mic. So if you're using an XLR mic, you need a way to take that XLR signal and make it USB. You can do that through a USB audio interface. You can get like a Scarlett Solo for like $100, but then it separates. That's it. It's just the audio. My recommendation is, what do you think streaming with low budget equipment upgrading through time? Absolutely. That's why we put basic, intermediate, and advanced or professional setup, so that you can do those things. And some of those things that I put in there are part of upgrading, like with the thought of upgrading in mind, so that you can keep things through the tiers, inshallah. So you need to be able to transfer XLR mic to USB output. The way I do that is through Go XLR. You can see that right here. For those of you who can see, you can see that right here. And what Go XLR is, we'll pull that up. Let's pull up Go XLR. It's right here. Come on. There it is. Okay, here is, let's make it big. This is Go XLR. And what this does is it takes multiple audio feeds and turns it into a single audio ecosystem. Turns into a single audio ecosystem. And the way it does that is it's plugged into the computer via USB. The microphone is plugged in via XLR, and I have a slider here. I can control mic with this slider. I can do it right here, or I can do it physically. Listen, you'll hear as I'm talking, I can make the mic go up or go down, and I can change the volume of the mic. That as well. So that's a very good, we might play today, inshallah. I can also, if I get a little, which I don't, but if I were to get a little crazy, we can bleep ourselves out. Okay, so that one, and I can mute it, and it's unmuted, as you see. Also in here is the chat. As you see right here, there's a chat slider. This is for like Discord or game chat, which if I get the HDMI to optical output, I can do that. This is the game chat. Let me allow that message. This is the game chat on Discord or game. So I can change the chat, and you see as I change it here, it also changes there. So I can make Discord louder for you guys on stream and in my here, or I can put it down and I can mute it. Music is for like Spotify, iTunes. Like when we play the Quran, sometimes at the beginning, you can adjust that slider as well. You can adjust that slider as well, and you can mute it. System is all audio. The system slider here is for all audio. All audio that goes into that's coming from your game, coming from your system. It's everything. That's the main system audio. And again, you can mute all those. You can mute the mic, etc. So now all of that is taken and routed into the gaming PC. The system audio is actually being picked up as well from the streaming PC, which I'll explain in a moment. The Go XLR is about $200. That is all done, and of course here you can change the channels. We are not talking to you, Alexa. You can mute voice. You can change the attenuation. There's a mixer here where you can change all of that, which I do. You can also change the lighting. But this is the important thing, is routing. This is why I love this Go XLR. It's worth the investment because you can route all. Oh yes, we just got a new Jazakallah Khair. It's a little bit small, so I'm going to replace that one. It's a little small, so we're going to replace that with JZK. In routing, you can change where everything goes. So you know, I can change my headphones, what it routes to. Output headphones, I want to hear mic, I want to hear chat, I want to hear the music, which is anything. I want to hear the game, I want to hear the console, line in system and samples. But for outputs to the broadcast stream mix, I only want it to have mic and these few things. So that makes, if that understands. Chat mic, I only want that to output to the mic. I don't want it to be outputting all over the place. So this is another setup. Again, each one of these would take a whole video, and we plan on doing a video series, inshallah, on streaming setup for the Muslim Gamers League. That is something I'm going to work on, inshallah. So this is how the audio gets mixed. Now, how do I hear the audio? I take the headphone out. There's a headphone out jack on the Go XLR, which you can plug directly into headphones. But I don't like to have wires and cables because I move around sometimes and it goes all over the place. So I have that hooked into this box, which is for the SteelSeries Artist Pro. So that's hooked into the aux import of that. And so therefore anything that's going through this Go XLR goes into here and is fed to my wireless headset. That's it. I don't hear, this is not connected to my PC, no nothing. I'm connected, these headphones, these are only for my stream, directly into Go XLR, so I can hear whatever is being fed through there. Khair. Does that make sense? I'm sure it's not over. I'm not giving it to you in depth because we don't have time. We'd be here all day. But does that make sense? This is audio. This is all audio, all of this. So now when it comes to streaming software, my recommendation is OBS or Streamlabs OBS. I like Streamlabs OBS. It is a little more CPU intensive, but it's more integrated, if you ask me. It's more integrated. Oh, and by the way, our merch is available right now. You can click on the About tab. You can find the merch store right there. Click on it. Get yourself some merch. It'll pop up here on stream if you purchase it. Streamlabs will send it high quality directly to your house. We have all different types and styles, and champion to basics. So feel free to pick up some MGL merch and let me know when it arrives to you. Send us pics and stuff like that so we can post that up on Discord and our social media. Now for streaming, minimize for streaming. I use Streamlabs. I use Streamlabs just because it's very integrated and it's easy to work with. You can set up your scenes. It's just a bit more easy. So I like Streamlabs. The merch makes your beard grow 50 plus, 50x. Inshallah. So I use Streamlabs. OBS and Streamlabs, regular OBS and Streamlabs OBS are very similar. Streamlabs is a bit more integrated. It has more things for you, like themes. You can get free themes with Streamlabs. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually get premium themes from Own 3D and a couple other places through, yeah, we should make merch with a beard on it, through Streamlabs. Like, for instance, you can go here, themes. And if you have Amazon Prime and you link your Amazon Prime account to your Streamlabs account, then all of these themes come free. So you can download any of these themes. Or you can pay someone like our brother Dinka, who does, mashallah, amazing gaming overlays and designs. You can pay him to do your own custom. But you have all of these themes that you can download. Of course, mine is, wait a minute, let me go back to editor. Mine is designed by our brother Dinka, alhamdulillah. Now, setting up the stream is quite daunting at first, but once you learn the ecosystem for it, I converted to Islam in 1998. Once you learn the ecosystem, it becomes much more simplistic. Really, you just need to take all your overlays and manage them, like alert boxes and stuff like that. Like, you set up your alerts and all of that, like the alerts you guys see. That takes a little bit of time. But in settings, this is what's most important. Number one, that you link your accounts. You know, I don't want you guys seeing my stream key. You see we have Twitch linked, and that's where we're streamed from. You can link YouTube, and you can link Facebook. So that's quite simple. Under general, you don't need a lot there. Here's what's important is output. If you are doing a basic stream, if you're doing your basic, if you are on the basic package per se, and you just want to stream, but you have bare bones, you know, maybe don't have the best CPU, GPU, camera, you're doing it on the minimum budget, then you want to stream in 720p. Try to stay at 720p. And what you would need to change, and I'm not going to change these because it'll change over there as well. You would go to advanced. You don't want to do simple. You go to advanced on output. This is where the major difference comes in, is encoder. You can use software X264, but again, that's going to eat your PCU up and take a lot of computing power and heat, etc. But if you have a graphics card, you would choose hardware. And if you have a NVIDIA graphics card, you will get hardware NVENC, which is NVIDIA's encoding platform. NVIDIA has their own encoding software built into their graphics cards, which is why I do like them. So you would choose hardware NVENC, and I choose hardware NVENC new because it processes a whole lot better. So you choose hardware NVENC. New subscriber, Sharp 760. May Allah bless you. Thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome. And then you're going to want to uncheck Enforce Streaming Service Encoder Settings. Uncheck it. You're going to want to do constant bit rate. Constant bit rate keeps the bit rate constant. If you do variable bit rate, it makes the stream look very weird. And the only time I would ever say do variable bit rate is if you just can't stream any other way, or you're streaming like Warzone on one PC, then variable bit rate might be for you, but let's leave that. Constant bit rate. Now, this is where you need to decide your bit rate based on your hardware and your internet connection. How do you figure that out? You go to where's it at? Hold on, let me pull this up. Let's make this bigger. You go to Twitch. Twitch encoder settings. Twitch has an entire setup for this, as you see right here. Twitch has an entire setup for this. You have the X264 specs, which hopefully we don't need to do that, or the NVIDIA NVENC specs. NVIDIA NVENC specs, if you want to just get by, then you do 720 to 30 FPS. If you're streaming action games, you're going to have to go to 60 FPS. But if you're just doing something like Among Us or something like that, like that's not really in 60 frames per second, I don't believe it doesn't take up as much, then you just go to this. And then your resolution would be set to 1280 by 720. I'll show you that right now. So let's say we want to do 720/60. You want to stream Call of Duty, but you're only bare bones and you only can do 1280 by 720. You would go to Streamlabs, go back to settings, and you would go to video. This is where you're going to pick this, and you would choose your base canvas resolution. Your base canvas resolution is your native screen. So whatever your screen is. And my streaming screen is 980 by 920 by 1080. My gaming stream is 26 something by 1440. But nevertheless, what you would change is this. You would change this to 1280 by 720. If that's what it is telling you over here, right here, if it's saying that you need 1280 by 720, this is the resolution. It's talking about the output scaled resolution. You put that into 720, 1280 by 720. Oh, we didn't do that. So that's what would be changed there. Then you do downscale filter. This is not talked about in there, but I always suggest Lanczos, however that's pronounced. Sharpen scaling 32 samples. If that doesn't look right or you can't stream at that, switch it to 16 samples. Switch it to 16, which is here. Do not do bilinear. Do Lanczos sharpen scaling 32 samples, or bicubic if that won't work. Sharpen 32 samples. Use common FPS value, and then if you're streaming at 60 frames per second, you have to choose this to be 60. If you're streaming in 30, like you're just doing like a small game that does not have a lot of action, then you would come down here and you would just choose 30. But we're streaming at 60. So that's here. 60, or you can drop it down to 50. If 60 is still not working and your internet speed can't handle it, we'll do 50. And I'm going to tell you how to figure that out. B frames, which is how many frames you go back to output. So you would do CBR. Let's say you only want to stream in 720. You see bit rate right here is 4500. You would change this 6000, which is the max for Twitch, by the way. You would change this 6000 to 4500. Change that to 4500. Key frame interval 2. Always leave that at 2. Preset, I have max quality, but here it tells you preset quality. If you're still having trouble streaming, you can set it to performance or max performance. What then would focus on performance. But quality, always try first. Quality, we're at max quality. Profile, high. You can either choose main or high. High puts it at a little more top of the process priority. You uncheck look ahead. You check psycho visual tuning. And then GPU leave it 0 and max B frames 2. That means that's how it encodes 2 frames per encoding second. So you leave that at 2. You leave that at 2. That's what you have here. Now, if you want to do 1080/60, I don't know how many people are doing 30, so we'll just go to 1080/60. The settings are the same, just you swap them. From 1920 by 720 to 1080, change the bitrate to 6000. You can down that to 5500 if that doesn't work, 5000, and etc. 60 or 50, 2, keyframe interval 2, quality, and B frames are at 2. Now, the way you figure this out is you need to know your upload speed. You need to know your upload speed for streaming. You need to know your upload speed. So you would just go to speed. And now this is our gaming PC, which is hooked up through Wi-Fi. We get nearly a gigabyte on the streaming PC because it's hooked up through Ethernet. So you test. So you go through and you run your tests. Download really doesn't matter here. Download really doesn't matter here. What you're looking for is you're looking for your upload speed. Your upload speed. Your upload speed will determine how many kilobits per second you can push to Twitch or YouTube or whatever it is. YouTube, you can do 10,000. We're streaming at 10,000 kilobytes per second over on YouTube. It's unlimited, but on Twitch the max is 6,000. So you would do this. You would test your speed, and once you test your speed, there's a mathematical equation you can go through, and that I could take you guys through, that would tell you, how much kbps. But all you do, if you really want to do it, just go to, like, I would take 32. I would go into another one and type in megabytes per second translated to kilobytes per second. Megabytes per second translated to kilobytes per second. And then I would put in 31.9, and that would translate to how many kilobytes per second upload I have. And then you would see what that is. Here, Francis, do this. Megabytes per second to kilobytes per second conversion. Here you go. So you go to something like this. Megabytes per second to kilobytes per second conversion. Here. Let's say it's 32. Let's just put in 32. That means I have the ability to stream up to 32,000 kilobytes per second. So 6,000 is a breeze. But now let's say you're only getting 5,000 is your max, and you have no headroom. If your upload speed is 5 megabytes per second, 5,000 is your max with no headroom. Put it at 4,500. Put it at 4,500 max. Even maybe 4,000 if that's not working the way you want it to, if that makes sense. So that's all. That's the way you figure that out. That's the way you King $5.85. May Allah bless you, Akhi. The message is a little small up there. I can't see it. It'll pop up here in a moment. May Allah increase you and keep you, inshallah. 50, mashallah. May Allah increase you, bless you. So know what your upload speed is, and then translate that kilobits per second, and then see if you have the room to stream in the encoder setting that you're trying to encode in. Does that make sense? Everybody with me so far? Yes, no? Have I lost you all? Somebody let me know. You guys with me so far? Or am I losing everybody? Alhamdulillah. Okay, so far so good. So you need to know your upload speed. Then you can know what you're streaming. You need to know your upload speed, and you can know what you're streaming. Like, for instance, if your upload speed is 2, it's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, it's going to be a problem. If your upload speed is 10, you're good. You can stream at 6,000, no problem. So you need to make sure you're constantly checking and see what your upload speed is. The best way is through an Ethernet hardwired connection. Then you can know. Then you can know what you could stream to. So you have that. You have the conversion table right here, the speed test. You go to the conversion table, and you set that up in the output on your settings, and then you click done. Now audio, sample rate. You always want to put it at 4,800 or 48 kilohertz. Stereo. This is where you choose your audio. If you're using if you're using one PC, this would go to default. That would make sure all your desktop audio, meaning the gaming audio, notifications, etc., are going to the stream. Is there a size chart for the Champion hoodie? I don't know. Maybe there's a size chart. If not, just look up Champion hoodie size chart. It's pretty standard. Champion hoodies should be same across the board, inshallah. So you would make this default. I don't have this because I only use, and I'll talk about that in a moment. You would choose your mic, whatever your mic is. If you're using a USB mic, you would go on mic auxiliary device. You would click on that. Like me, it would be chat mic, but I'm not using any of this at the moment. And that would be it. Oh, no, we don't want to show my stream key. So that would all be with audio. And then you click done. And your audio would show up here. It's not showing up here now because I'm looking at this on my gaming PC, not on the streaming PC. The streaming PC actually holds all the stream right up here. This is a big screen that's actually a mirror of this, but it's actually running right now. And it shows line in Realtek. The reason why is my entire audio, all of my audio is coming from my Go XLR. There's a line out on the back. That line out is going to the line in on the motherboard of the streaming PC, and that becomes my only input over here. That's all I need. And that simplifies the process so much. That's the only input I need. And then for me to hear the alerts, because those alerts are happening on the streaming PC, for me to hear those alerts, I have another 3.5 millimeter cable from the line out to the line in on the Go XLR so that I hear the alerts when they happen. It's a serious ecosystem, but once it's set up, it runs amazingly well, alhamdulillah. And I'm able to stream also the PS5 by using an HDMI switcher. So I have an HDMI switcher, I have the gaming PC and the PS5 hooked into the into the HDMI switcher, and whenever I want to switch, I just click a button and it switches between the two HDMI signals. I just need to get the audio transmitter or transcoder to the same thing. But that's it. Then when you have all of this set up the way you want it, your alerts, your panels, your audio, your video, you simply hit go live. When you hit go live, you put in your stream title, you put in, category, you link it to your Twitter if you want to, or link it to your social media, and then you hit go live, and boom, it sends it off to Twitch or to YouTube or to Facebook and wherever you want to use it, and it runs from there. Everything else is about customization, customizing your alert box, customizing your cam, and all of that stuff is something that is up to your own preference. But that is the that is the simplest way I can explain the ecosystem to you that I have. Mine is complicated simply because we're trying to run the highest quality that we can with a 2 PC setup. So it complicates a little bit more of the setup, but once you do it, the stream quality and the ease of streaming becomes so amazing. Like, I don't have to worry about a whole bunch of things. I have one audio, one video. I don't have 1,000 things going on. And if something happens to my gaming PC goes down, like let's say you're playing a game, and by the way, Miles Morales makes the PS5 crash, and it's a well-known issue, so we're not gonna be playing that anytime soon. Let's say you're playing a game right now on the gaming PC and it crashes. My stream won't go down. The game would go down and it would say no signal, but my stream wouldn't die. The camera wouldn't die. The audio wouldn't die. So, that's a good thing about that, is that we wouldn't lose everything just for the gaming PC going down. The stream PC is very less susceptible to going down because of the simple fact that we're not pushing it very hard. Sky Dude, new follower, welcome. And of course, here's our P. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see. This is our streaming PC right here, which used to be my old gaming PC. We just repurposed it to the streaming PC. You might not be able to see it, but we have Kylo Ren down there in the case. So that's kind of our ecosystem for my stream. Can't wait to build a second PC. Inshallah, by then I get enough viewership to be worth getting a second PC. Yep, inshallah, to be well worth it by then. Getting and my second PC is an overbuild. It's an overbuild because it used to be my gaming PC. You can do it for much less. You can do the bare bones gaming PC. Streaming PC. You could use your 1060 Ti. It's more than enough to encode a stream. You could use a Ryzen 3 maybe, or an Intel i3 maybe. But you could do the most bare bones setup because all you need to do is feed a stream. That's it. This is way overkill for that. Like, I could game on this. But again, it was from the leftover parts when we upgraded to this Lian Li bad boy. We still want to do a custom loop water cool here, but just no time and no ability, because we're spending all of the funding that we're getting on the stream now and on the YouTube stream. So is a GTX 1050 Ti Ryzen 5 16GB RAM enough for a streaming PC? Yes, that would be enough for a streaming PC. You can use a laptop as a streaming PC. Yes. You would most likely have to do, if the laptop has a graphics card, you could do hardware encoding, but if not, you would most likely have to do software X264 encoding for the stream. But you can do that. You can actually use a laptop, and I know I've seen quite a few people use a laptop as the streaming PC. An old iMac with RAM upgrade compatible is not bad either. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. I don't know how an iMac would do. It's possible. I don't know how an iMac would do. We tried to stream from my MacBook Pro, which is not old. I mean, for a MacBook Pro, it's only like 3 years old, but it could not handle streaming on YouTube, and not gaming, just streaming through Streamlabs in general. It just didn't work. Nearly roasted it. Nearly roasted it. Can I use my MacBook as a streaming laptop? I don't know. I tried. It didn't work. It didn't work. You can try, maybe. But we were trying to do high quality, so it kind of almost fried it. My PC is a custom build. If you want to know what PC I run, then all you got to do, type in specs. Did we put the streaming PC specs up, Meadow, or is that something I need to do? Or did I ever do that? Did I? Did I do a part picker for the streaming PC itself? Yeah, inshallah, just build a new PC for gaming and use this for streaming. Yeah, that's all you do. Build a new PC for gaming. Use your old PC for streaming. That's it. No, I don't think you did. Okay, I'll set up another one that just has the streaming PC, but literally it's just bare bones. Mine is overkill. Because we upgraded this to do more high quality gaming, and therefore my Ryzen 7 went into here. When I swapped to the Ryzen 9, the motherboard went over to here, the GPU went over to here. The only thing I ended up having to do was buy new RAM, buy new hard drives, a new copy of Windows, and a new power supply unit. So that's all we had to do to get the streaming PC up and running, and then get another cam link and the card, the capture card. That was it. Game capture card. So any questions on that? Any questions on what we've gone through so far with streaming? Ooh, I need to loosen this hat before I give myself a migraine. Any questions on what we discussed so far as streaming setups? Do you have any questions about streaming setups? Anybody? Before we carry on. And these lights are getting a bit bright for me today, so we're going to dim this. You guys can bear with me. The light's going to get a little bit dim, just simply because I'm going to get a migraine for the rest of the day if I don't dim these lights just a little bit. And I do like this light that I have, because we can do all kinds of effects with this lights. As you see, we can do this, we can do grasslands, we can just make it red, we can make it blue, we can make it pink. This is my daughter's favorite color to use. We can use cyan. We can do all of this. We can also do the aurora borealis. We can do this whole kind of feed where it goes through the changing colors of the aurora borealis, which is going to hurt my head right now. So we're just going to switch it back to this plain white. It's a little dim. Forgive me for us getting a little dim. We're getting a little mood going here, but that's gonna kill my eyes. Is too much RGB, does it make it difficult? No, too much RGB doesn't make it difficult. It's up to your taste. You can build an entire setup with no RGB. If you just want it to be moot like that, that's fine. RGB doesn't make it more difficult. No, it doesn't. Because most motherboards these days come with a whole bunch of RGB headers. I need that second PC, a Go XLR, pop filter from my microphone, and capture card, inshallah. Yes. Hey, Mido, we both need the same things, Dean. Inshallah. But again, you don't need to do overkill. That's why I chose basic, intermediate, and professional. Because our first content creator, Brother Ben Iqra, he's on bare bones, but his stream looks good. His stream is just fine. You don't need overkill to do that. But, the only reason we tried to do it this way is because we're kind of wanting to set the standard. We're wanting to set the standard for Muslim Gamers League. And me being the head of that, I want to make sure that, we're doing everything to the highest possibility. Yeah, I mean, inshallah, King Kunta. I don't have a migraine yet, but I can feel that bright lights, LED lights, and fluorescent lights, um, give me migraines. I use very soft lights in almost everything that I do. So we're gonna keep it a little. Oh, the one thing that I forgot to tell you guys that is one of the most important things that I use on stream, that make things so easy that I've put in every level of the basic, intermediate, advanced streaming is my Stream Deck. I use Stream Deck for switching scenes, for switching audio, for emptying the jar, all kinds of things. I have the XL, which has 32 keys, which is way overkill because every one of those keys can be a folder. But we use the Stream Deck for switching scenes. Like if we want to switch scenes and things of that nature, we can just pull it up really quickly. So the Stream Deck is so important. Like for instance, I wanted to show you guys, like let's check out the MGL intro real quick. 1, 2, 3. All that takes is pushing a button on the Stream Deck, and it happens so easily. Like for instance, I want to run an ad. Boom, I pop an ad. I want to make it sub-only chat. I can make it sub-only chat right now. Clicking a button. I can make it follower-only chat. I can click a button and clip. I can turn on emote-only chat. I can turn on, I can hit a screen marker. I can clear the whole chat. I can slow the chat. I can empty the jar. I can spin the wheel and do giveaways. I can open up Spotify with the Quran playlists. I can open up and close Discord. I can go to intermission. For instance, all I do is push a button. 1, 2, 3, boom, I push a button and we go to, that one's gotten a little bit janked up, but I could go to intermission screen. So having the Stream Deck is extremely a lifesaver. And you can just get the smallest one. I think the smallest one is like $75. It only has 6 buttons, but every one of those buttons can be a folder. Like you can make the top button all of your scenes. So when you push that, it'll pull up 6 scenes. You can make the second one audio and it'll pull up 6. You can make it folders. It's like now I have 32 buttons and each button can be a folder. That's a stupid amount of things I can do. It's madly overkill. And I have gifts for all of my buttons, and a lot of it is Marvel, DC Comics, Star Wars gifts that are thing. Mashallah, looks really high production value. Yes, we're trying to do it the best way that we can. I have a great tip for people who can't afford and don't have a Stream Deck yet. If you don't have a Stream Deck and you can't afford it, download the Stream Deck mobile app. It's a free app. You can download the Elgato Stream Deck mobile app. Or if you are streaming from Streamlabs, if you're using Streamlabs also has a free mobile app that you can switch scenes and all of that stuff and mute your audio and everything from right there. Streamlabs has a free app. Elgato Stream Deck has a free app. You can use your phone if you don't have a physical one. FS965, what's up, Saddam? How you doing, bro? FS965, new follower, welcome. So yes, you can use your phone as a free one. But I put the 6 button one as a beginner streamer on the wish list Amazon list. I put the 15 button one, that's the one we use for the YouTube stream, as the intermediate, and the 32 button one for that. Loop Deck has come out with a new one that is actually really nice with dials and buttons, but I've heard some mixed reviews about it. Stream Deck is tried and true tested. So I suggest something to you guys that I know works. I haven't had my hands on the Loop Deck yet, so I don't know. What are the main plans at MGL? Like, you're trying to build a team of Muslim gamers? Yes, our main plan is, number one, create a halal environment for Muslim gamers, for gamers to come to be able to, congregate in a halal environment on Discord as well as on stream. That's number one. Give everyone who wants to, game in a halal environment without having to listen to music and cussing and nonsense and all that craziness, a space to do so. That's number one. Number two is to take the da'wah that I've been doing for the past 15 years to the streaming industry, one of the largest growing industries for entertainment on the planet Earth. We want to take streaming the da'wah to that streaming world. So that is our goals. That is our two primary goals here. And we want to do that at the highest level possible.